Alright. Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online. I am starting a new little mini-series stream of playing through all of the Gondor content, at least that's the plan on my Warden. So my Runekeeper, I went through and started with Central Gondor. I actually did the book quest. I did the book quest and then skipped to Central Gondor. I skipped Western Gondor. And also on him, I went to Osgiliath, but I haven't started any of the questing there with Ashes and Stars, and I also did a little bit of Minas Tirith to work on that deed for the trait points. That's the main thing I'm doing on the Runekeeper. So with the Warden, I want to go back and actually do all the questing, and Central Gondor will be a repeat since I did all that on the Runekeeper, but I think it will be exciting to go back to that because I have found that I actually enjoyed what I have done on my Runekeeper so far, which is a lot different than what I used to think of Gondor, which I did not like it when it initially came out, so I'm excited to try it all again on the Warden and actually start progressing with Western Gondor, like all in order there, and doing all the little side quests. So today, I guess one of the goals is, I'm actually not even level 95, so I wouldn't mind hitting level 95 just to go ahead and get that. I also have a couple LIs for level 95. I know mine are like way outdated at level 85, and there's a pretty decent jump and the LI strength at this point, so having those will be quite helpful. But I think I already did I didn't do a couple quests, but I did a couple of the talking to people because I was just here doing the regular West Rohan quest to get trait points on this character. So I think I already have a little bit of progress on this and just have to talk to people. That's the start of this book. We're starting, I think, volume 4 is what this is when we go to Gondor. And I don't remember this coming up my last stream, but if anyone has any comments on the audio, specifically like the in-game volume compared to my volume, if either of them are too loud or too quiet. It looks like we travel. For some reason I was thinking I had to run all the way to this door, but it looks like it just took me here. Maybe I'm mixing it up with actually a West Rohan quest with the Dunharrow quest there. But it looks like I have to talk to... Okay, I have to talk to him. I will go by myself. I hope I will be fine. I can probably actually get on my mount or my war steed, even better. I need to get my mic wire out of the way. I don't know if there's anything I need to do here because on my Runekeeper, again, I was just trying to get through the book quest pretty quickly so I could get to Central Gondor. So I really don't remember the Paths of the Dead area right here too much. And I think on initial release I also skipped it as much as I could as well to get out of it. Okay, so I need to go to the west, which would be this way actually. Oh, and here's all the other ones I pulled, I guess. I feel like things should be easier than yesterday. So on my first stream of the year and the first one in a couple months, I sent my Warden on Arkenstone, that is. I say that as I die. Oh, I can't actually revive here, but I feel like it should be easier overall than it was yesterday. But I gotta get back to getting used to this character. Okay, let's try that again. Looking at my inventory, I don't know if I actually have any potions on my skill bar. I do have some potions. I just wasn't paying too much attention to all that was going on in combat. I saw my health was low, but didn't have quite too much time to actually think or put the effort into fixing my health. Let's see, and I am getting an echo. There we go. Okay, this time I will probably pull all of them again, but I'll try to pay more attention to my health. And actually hit them all with range resounding challenge. That's pretty much all I need to do to kill them, I think. Okay, this time I should be good. I think I mentioned yesterday that I thought we had a kin event today that I would try to line up with starting this series, but I don't think we actually do. Or we don't actually have one that I'll participate in. I think they're starting questing in Central Gondor, and this character, of course, is not ready for that. It says search the southwest tunnel. I wonder if this is southwest. I feel like it has to be. And I think I remember going this way, at least on my Runekeeper. I wonder why I'm not pulling... Or I guess the other ghost I can target, but it's not an enemy. Oh, now he's active. There's Elfdag. I think I accidentally used Resounding Challenge. I am in the range spec on this character. And hello, Ivan Stainer. Things are going pretty well, just starting off the Paths of the Dead here. To get to Gondor, I guess I don't know if the Paths of the Dead is technically in Gondor. It's like the area in between Gondor and not far in Orient, but that's kind of weird the way it looks on the map, so I guess I should actually pay attention to the combat here. I didn't realize people would come back to attack me. But the way it looked on the map, I guess we're in the far northwest corner of Western Gondor, so we're maybe... Well, actually, I don't know. We're somewhere more around here. I was looking at Far Orient, and that's like north of West Gondor. But I think it's more the northwest corner. Okay, so now that they're done attacking, I can actually look at this a little bit more. So we have Far Orient, Beacon Hills, way west of that. Rovanian's the one I actually want to go to. So this is around here. It's really hard to tell on the map. It's like between these two. I think that's Helm's Deep. So we're probably, that's Cape of Belfala. I think this river is in the western part of the westernmost zone. So it's like right here under the mountains, I suppose. Just trying to get my location, a general idea of that. And Ivan, this is the legendary server, or one of the legendary servers. This one is Anor, so you do have to be VIP to play on it. I wonder why the Might Essence gets one more point than the Agility and Will. It's not like it makes that much of a difference, but it actually is a difference, but they're just so weak anyway that I don't think it matters at all. I'll go ahead and get some level 95 essence armor. I won't have essences. I guess my Runekeeper would have essences I could put in them, but I don't even think... Actually, my shoulders are bad enough I could actually consider putting essences in them. In this like new piece of shoulder, replacing it, but the problem is I would lose my set bonus, and the height bolt gear is really strong because of the set bonus. And that actually reminds me, my gear is going to be unequipped at level 96. Has maximum level 95, so yeah, I have 2 levels. I need to get myself some new gear. I meant to either craft some on my Runekeeper. I could craft like level 85 gear or get skirmish camp gear. I just gotta not forget to do that, basically. Or at some point in our Gondorian adventure, I will suddenly become essentially naked, because all my gear is height bolt gear, except for my back item, which I guess I could replace the shield with the hammer hand. It's not giving me the XP boost anymore. And I honestly don't even care too much about XP on this character at this point, because going through Western Gondor, Central Gondor, Eastern Gondor, and Old Orient should be plenty enough to get me 5.5 levels. Am I actually... I am... okay. I didn't know if I had to actually, during all my talking, I didn't know that I had to actually run here. Hello, Dinjarin, who is Diadem and Gaiman and my kin. And yeah, I'm back on the Warden. I had been playing my Runekeeper a lot when I was streaming on the server. But this time I went through on my Runekeeper first so I could go do the playthrough on my Warden. I'll have to actually walk in. It would be helpful. I think maybe this is the time I can do some side quests, but we'll find out about that soon enough. I feel like this character has one of the cleanest inventories of any of my characters on the server, which is kind of sad because it is pretty full of a bunch of just like cluttery stuff. I think the only character I actually kept up a really clean inventory on was back when I did the Anor LM series. Basically my lore master on the server from launch, and got him to low 50s in Moria. I think I always kept his inventory clean, it seemed like. Safely to the... Maybe there aren't any side quests. Again, I don't remember exactly. I think you do go back here though at some point. There might be some deeds or something I could go ahead and do, but I don't know. But yeah, I think in Western Gondor and Dol Amroth you can like donate silver tokens, and maybe that's how you get back here. It like opens the door back up, but that is at least the way I think it works. We'll, I suppose, also eventually find out if that's actually accurate. Here's a quest giver. So Western Gondor looks really nice. I think I should probably talk about my initial Gondor experience a little bit. This is that was the Passage of the Dead, I think? Path of the Dead? Something like that. One of those. But it was not the City of the Dead, I think. I wonder if Minas Morgul's called City of the Dead. I could be totally wrong on that, but when you said City of the Dead, that actually made me think of Minas Morgul. Of course, Minas Morgul might be... It has some dead in it when I went through it on Luiden, but it also had orcs. But yeah, Western Gondor is really nice looking. I think it's very bright and open, is what I think of it. And I think when I first went through Gondor, I actually skipped mostly to Dol Amroth, I think, on my character. I don't know if I did any of the questing here. I might have done a little bit in Blackroot Vale. But yeah, I just wasn't too interested in the game at that point when it came out, because I wasn't liking all the content, especially with Westerohan. So it's kind of the lead up and just things around the game that made me not too interested in Western Gondor when it came out. And the same thing was true with Central Gondor. Because I wasn't interested in Western Gondor and wasn't doing too much there, I actually did Dol Amroth eventually and enjoyed that a little bit. But I think that was even after Central Gondor was out that I finally got there and was doing that stuff, but I'm not exactly sure. Probably don't need to be on the war steed right now.
If you are a friend of Gondor,
so I need to defeat frenzied or maddened creatures for the book quest, but there should be a bunch of side quests I can do. And one of the most important things I need to do is get my milestone here so I can easily travel.
how may I help you, friend?
Okay, so Din, you said I am correct about how you open the Path of the Dead again, but yeah, we still need more silver tokens. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a really long time just because I know the population's low on the server. I don't know how the progress is actually doing, but that is a little bit of a concern, is how long that could take to open on the server. This is like, somebody else mentioned this, but this really is almost like a mini Minas Tirith Moorlad right here. Just the navigation around it and having to go all the way around the ring, you can't actually jump off. I think if you try to do that in Minas Tirith, it'll kill you for misadventure.
These are troublesome times indeed.
It's just preparing you for all that travel you'll have to do. I guess in the actual game time, it was maybe a year or so after, because it was a few updates after. There was Central Gondor, I think 4 or 5 months, then Eastern Gondor 4 or 5 months after that, and then probably another 4 or 5 months for Old Anorian. I need to collect some notes. I actually don't know. Do I need to do something up here? Do I need to go in his home? Piercing the veil? That is not it. A steward without counsel. That's what I'm guessing is in the home, but I'm not sure. Just because it says collect his notes. Ooh, this is... Hold up. Something looked weird. I don't know. Maybe it's right, but the house looks way bigger on the inside to me. But maybe it's just like the way it looks. But there is actually a quest item here. This is actually a pretty neat looking house. I don't know how it compares to the West Rohan, like, player housing, but I could see myself actually liking a Gondor house if they opened. They actually do have Gondor housing. I forgot about that. I wonder if I'd actually like the player Gondor houses if they look like these, because these are a lot neater than other Gondor structures to me, at least. Okay, so we need to return to Mouthalim. See if I can find a way down. I can actually go down this way. I don't know if it's quicker. Can jump there, but not there. There's that. I don't know exactly what the Amroth silver piece is, what you can barter them for, but I'm guessing I can get some LI boosting stuff and essences if I actually want that. But it'll be interesting for me to see what I can get with the Western Gondor since I haven't looked at that yet. Okay, so I still need to actually gather somebody's notes. Promise of Glory, that is to the northeast. I wonder if it's down here in the crafting area? Looks like it could be. Maybe it's up there. It's really hard to tell on the map when the ring takes up that much of an area, and I'm not too familiar with this little village. Oh, I need to do something to this guy? Well, I needed to go up here anyway, and I cannot do that mounted. Story, pose. Did I do all of them? Oh, it says or. Or a mighty pose. Am I waiting for something? Oh, that time it worked. Okay. That quest got me all confused. Because I hailed him and then I bowed and then I did the story and then posed. But I wonder if the hail didn't work or if I just had to redo it or something. Oh, piercing the veil. No, that's a different quest. Promise of Glory, that is to the southwest. And then a lapse in judgment, that is the one that is basically right on top of me. So if there is a building or some notes around, I think that is what I need. There's a building here. Hey Axel, Guinea, you asked if a lot of people still play LOTRO, and I think the same amount play. I don't know if there's been a big decline or increase in population. There was a little bit of an increase earlier this year, especially when they were giving out a bunch of free content. So I think population has overall gone down from that a little bit. So it might be roughly similar to what it was a year ago, if that gives you any idea. On this particular server, there aren't too many people playing. There's 154 online that aren't anonymous. Now I gotta do some stuff to Hurwy. I do not know where he is. Or which icon he is. Promise of Glory, that is this way. Is he in a house here? There he is. Alright, so let's try this again. Hail, bow, story, pose. Hail, pose, story. Do I have to wait for him to like finish doing his talking thing? Maybe. But yeah, I think overall LOTRO's still decently populated at least. They actually released when EG7, which I still forget the full name of that company, what the acronym stands for, but when EG7 acquired Daybreak Games, who used to publish LOTRO, they published like active monthly users, and I don't remember the exact number, but I thought it was very large and a lot more than I would have thought it was. It was like in the few, I don't think it was 100,000, but it could have been. So now I need to do all this stuff to Glorwyn, which is, I keep like wanting to run out an adventure instead of actually do this quest. And I have to dismount, I think, for some of these. So battle story, oh, it looks like just doing the hill worked there. Okay, so it's 2 turn-ins and they both look to be southeast, so I'm guessing just need to go down, probably no way out. They really don't want you jumping over the little stone wall. It was 40,000 the missile, that sounds more accurate, or 60,000. I think I remember something similar to that. But one of the big things also was, this is again if I remember correctly, that like 40% of the active users were subscribers, so VIP. I don't think it specifically mentioned how many of them were like lifetime subscribers where it was just a one-time payment, but that was also a surprising amount to me.
Needs your aid.
How may I help you, friend?
These gloves are not good, but they're medium armor.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I wonder if you can get a cosmetic set that looks like that. It seems like a decent plain clothes type set that I would be interested in. I need to look for something new for Gondor on my Warden. I'm still using the same one I used. I think I really started using that at the level 85 cap when I came back in early March last year. I think March, actually April, I think. Okay, so I need to talk to somebody again, but it's nobody in Morlad anymore. We can actually get out of here. And I believe I have one quest right across this bridge to collect some arrows. There is one bear here. This is a very exciting quest, just pressing delete and U to collect some arrows. At least they're all together, and I have a lamp on in my room that's basically right behind me, but it's just flickering. So I might have to mess with that in a minute. And hello Nathan Philip Connors, I don't think I ever actually said hello to you. So I got that quest done, and I have another quest that's ready to turn in. And the green one, okay, the green one's the book quest. Maybe I should go ahead and turn this in, just because it's like right here.
I greet you, friend.
Alright, so that's all that was. I think a cost yet unpaid will maybe take us to a camp, it looks like. And I'm going to switch to my worsted so we can go a little bit faster. Should probably go on the other side of the bridge, actually. And while I'm on auto run, I'm going to try to fix this lamp. Okay, so I believe that should be working now. Looks like I was a little bit off track. I kind of wish it wasn't nighttime because Gondor, it is nice during nighttime, but it's also really just nice, bright, and blue, as I mentioned earlier. Like, I think this would be a pretty neat area to see during daytime, but it's also neat at night. I think with the thumbnail, I kind of made my colors thematic towards that with the bright blue. At least the first zone, the Western Gondor. When we get to Central Gondor, we'll see it as not the case.
Gondor needs your aid. Why do you interrupt me? I beg your pardon?
Maybe I should set my milestone here. There's not like a travel stable master or anything though. But it seems like the quest camp I would return here. I can just do that walking. Using that bounty has no effect. I wonder if I have to be level 95 for that. That would be unfortunate that I can't do those two quests. I'll just have to remember them and hope I get maybe 95. Could even do a couple enhanced XPs just to make sure I actually do get 95. I wonder if it's worth it. Because I really don't care about leveling fast, but I'll go ahead and use a couple. I need to search for evidence for something. Little white quest. Place bait on traps outside Grant. That's probably what I need to do now. Wonder a lot of these quests you can actually do on a mount. I might be able to do that here. There's a trap. Oh, I'm in the melee stance. I did not realize that. I thought I was in the range stance that whole time. That was a mountain lion? For some reason I thought I killed a wolf, not a mountain lion. I guess I didn't pay any attention to why I was actually attacking then. Oh, I got an essence for my new piece of gear. Looks like the goat could count for, well, for the Slayer deed, or for the frenzied or maddened creatures, but I should not have any problem defeating 10 creatures, especially considering I already need to defeat 6 more mountain lions anyway. Another trap. I feel like I'm questing very slowly right now. I quest slowly like on a normal day anyway, but I just feel extra slow with my questing right now. And hello, Andrew McKinnon. He said good to see me streaming again, and I agree, it is good to be streaming. And Western Gondor is one of your favorite regions. I hope I like it this time around. Just because the first time, I didn't really do a lot of Western Gondor because I wasn't really interested in it. So I am hoping I enjoy it this time around. I don't know if it can become one of my favorite regions, but it could potentially. Okay, so now I need evidence. That is the one to the east. He is around where I need to go. This is probably the evidence, and I need to examine him. accidentally pulled. Accidentally pulled 2 bears. I feel squishier than my Runekeeper when he went through this, or just like went through this level range, because my Runekeeper at least had a lot of self-heals and good crowd control. I know I can attack from range as a Warden, and I killed definitely faster than my Runekeeper did at this point, but I don't know, I just feel extra squishy compared to my Runekeeper. Actually, I have to be more careful on my Warden, which doesn't make too much sense. The self-healing on the Runekeeper is pretty strong, especially I had Mending Verse on my Lightning spec and had it traded for the short induction, and it was just pretty crazy with the healing if I needed to self-heal.
How may I help you, friend? How may I help
And I also think I did have more burst damage on my Runekeeper, I suppose. Oh, I can't get those. I was going to try those again. These could be, I wonder if they're for Tarling's Crown. Oh, I can actually get that now? Wonder why I couldn't get that earlier. I thought it might be for Tarling's Crown, the group area, because one of them has said Tarling's Fang. Oh, I need to talk to these people? And I'll say search for the White Stag, okay.
these? Are
I almost expected these to be like small fellowship quests, like an elite mob or something. But they look to be normal quests, maybe signatures. Anyway, I have a lot to do, it looks like. I need to search east of Allegrant for signs of fallen animals. I need to search for a dog near the hill of Erech. So they're both in similar areas, it looks like. I'll get the north one first. Do I have to escort him? He looks like he has that little escort whenever they have that green symbol thing. Too far away, that means I am not in range stance. Oh, we have the Ruthless Dead attacking him. It says I have defended him, but the quest progress, it still says defend Darian's dog from the dead. So maybe I still need to follow him. Following NPCs is really weird, but let's see, stay on track of them. Okay, now it looks like it finished. Oh, I think when I open up my trait panel, it deactivates. For some reason, it always deactivates only like the last 2 rows on the Worsted, and it's kind of weird. And I actually still have Javelin of Deadly Force, even though it doesn't show that. It says, but they bear the marks of a struggle. I thought it was a good pun, at least. Here are more bears. This time they bear no wounds. I don't know why wounds came out that way, but it did. Here's some more bears. What is, I gotta say the next bear pun. Fallen creatures bearing no wound. Wait, bearing no wounds? So they're just dead without any wounds, and then here's the Ruthless Dead, who are not fully dead. So now I'm ready for turn-ins again in the southwest. So the missile, you asked what is my favorite region, and I am not sure. There are a lot of regions I enjoy for different reasons. So usually if I like a region, it's for the quests. But Forestial is one I really like. I like snowy zones in general, especially in LOTRO. I feel like they're well done. And they usually don't have things like bushes, which can quite annoy me. So some bushes, like this bush, there are a lot of bushes like this one in LOTRO, and I really don't like those. And that's one of the reasons I actually don't like Rohan, because there are a lot of those really ugly bushes. And I think I'm heading to the waterfall instead of the bridge. But Forestial I like. I also like the questing. It's a little bit different, and it was the first one I thought of. And then Eregion, I really like the questing there. And even the region a little bit. It's not like the prettiest zone or most unique looking zone, I suppose, but it's just a generally nice zone, I think. And then what other zones do I like in that area? Inadwaith, I really like Inadwaith. I haven't done a complete quest through there in a while. I've gone like halfway through, but I feel like I need to do a full playthrough in Inadwaith at some point soon. After I finish. I feel like I'm always wanting to do like zone playthroughs of different areas and just always having other things basically higher on my priority list. I don't think I'll want any of these. So I need to head way south, it looks like, to the next camp. Yeah, so in LOTRO, the snowy zones always do have a cozy feeling, and I think there's, in Forestial at nighttime, there's a pretty heavy bloom. It actually makes it feel warm, which is odd. And another zone that has bloom that I also like is Lothlorien. The questing there, I'm less sure that I enjoy the questing. I need to redo it as well. But I really like the atmosphere of Lothlorien, at least. And the part before the actual Lothlorien area, the Dimrill Dale, I think it's called. This area. I like that part, the questing there, that's really fun to me. But I'm not sure, I did the questing, I feel like I did all the questing once around here and didn't enjoy it all too much, but didn't dislike it either, so I just have to redo it to get an updated opinion. And least favorite zones. I like Mirkwood. I don't know that it'd be a favorite, but it's really immersive and I like that. Least favorite zones would probably be West Rohan for a couple of reasons. For one, you have to do the quest there to get trait points, which I don't like. And for two, I don't like the questing there. And for three, I just mentioned earlier that I don't really like these bushes that are everywhere in LOTRO. And they seem to be in excess in West Rohan. Scuttledells? Nathan, I don't remember exactly where Scuttledells is. I remember Webs of Scuttledells, the instance. So
These are troublesome times.
don't think this is right, but it made me think of this place. That is North Cotton Farm. Scuttledells, that might be in Mirkwood. Okay, so that's this part of Mirkwood. It's been a long time since I've actually done Scuttledells. Questing, I went there for something recently, but I don't remember what. It wasn't that recent, but somewhat recently I was there. I wonder why I was there. I actually don't remember at all why I was in Scuttledells and what I was doing there. I could have just been questing, but I don't remember that. So Ivan, you don't like Misty Mountains or Trollshaws? I actually do like Trollshaws. I also like Misty Mountains. North Downs is also pretty nice, the missile. Yeah, it has the OG orcs, the good old like regular orcs, the not necessarily the first you encounter. I gotta look at the map and talk about it a little bit. But Nan Wathran, that place is really nice, the Greenway, even the questing there. Also, I like that area. Fields of Fornos, I haven't done too recently. I would have to quest there again to get an updated feel for it. And this whole area, I feel like is the least I've ever done of North Downs. I don't know why, just every time I quest in North Downs, I seem to do Nan Wathran and then skip straight to Estelden. partially because you just level so fast doing Nanwathron in that whole area, and then you can go to Estheldon. And there are just so many quests in that area, even if there are a lot of them around level 30. But yeah, Estheldon's pretty nice. It's kind of, just thinking about it, it's almost a weird zone in a way that this whole side, the western half and like eastern half, are totally different. And then you even have on the eastern half a split east and west again, with Doldenen and that whole Nan Imlug east and then Nan Imlug west and Kingsfell, Meliwinen on the other side. So Andrew, I don't know that I necessarily dislike. I just know the first time I went to Western Gondor, I haven't really done too many quests in Western Gondor, so I can't say for sure that I dislike them. I just dislike the area, or at least used to. I'm trying to be less biased against Gondor just because it was Gondor. I wonder what the best way up here is, if I should go north. I don't see a way down from the south, and I might need to go. That almost looks like a cave looking area. And Jajax, I've seen a lot of people talk about Jajax. I don't remember if I've run into him, but that is an interesting name for an NPC. I thought the one we saw earlier, Elfdag, I think was his name in the Past of the Dead, that was an unfortunate name, I think. Evendim's nice as well. It's got a nice river, it's got the whole bandit thing. It's kind of interesting, my burglar on the server was going through Evendim. And I think it's interesting playing a burglar in a zone with a whole lot of like brigand type burglars. Looks like I got Introduction West Gondor. I gotta speak to Eowyn to learn of West Gondor. So one of the things about Western Gondor is, I think now it is called Western Gondor, and on the big map it's called Western Gondor, but for some reason when it was initially released I thought they called it West Gondor. I don't know if they updated it at some point or what happened there. But I used to always call it West Gondor, and then it seems like it's been updated to Western Gondor. It could just have been mistaken the whole time. But seeing that quest actually call it West Gondor is what made me think of that. So what are we doing? We're going into the spider cave. I did not know there are spiders in Gondor. I don't know why they would avoid Gondor, but I just never actually ran into any on my Runekeeper. Probably need to search the cocoons. Yeah, it looks like I do. What are some higher level zones? I feel like whenever I talk about zones I talk about low level zones just because I love those so much. Even like Breland and North Downs, I feel like I'm there all the time, so it's like not anything amazing, but that one's also nice. As well in northern Breland, like the northeast part of Breland's really nice. I think these corpses are full of like regular loot, don't actually need them for a quest. Okay, so I should get a bunch of spiders right here. I need to defeat, I'm guessing this guy, Granathron, giant spider. That was a good AoE hit with the Ranger's Outling Challenge and all the Shattered Javelin bleeds I had, or whatever they're called. I think it's the Barbed Javelins is the bleed and Shattered Javelins is the burst. So Bacalonius, you asked what class would I say is my main if I had to choose one, and I would say Warden. It's not always that easy, but with LOTRO and the Warden, it is above the rest. Runekeeper would be next for me. Yeah, the Eriador zones are really nice, I agree, Axel. Let me search one more cocoon. I was going to say I want to explore the rest of this cave, but I actually do have for the quest that wants me to do that anyway. This looks like the Pass of the Dead like entrance type area. Oh, it even said reminiscent of the Pass of the Dead. Guessing I will have to kill this Oathbreaker, but I'm not sure. So they throw a level 95 or 97 signature at you. Just a little bit of extra difficulty, I guess, compared to throwing a level 95. So now we're good for turn-ins. Oh, so my opinion on EG7 buying Daybreak games, what I think is going to happen next. So I'm going to guess not too much is going to happen, at least immediately, but it will be interesting to see how involved EG7 might be. So there's the big topic of the console port. I honestly hope that does not happen with LOTRO as it is now. If they wanted to make like a console version of the game, I would think that should just be a totally separate game. Because I was kind of thinking about this because I'm thinking at least about doing a video on this topic. But a console port for LOTRO would be nice for people who want to play on console and just like experience the world of Middle-earth, because it's a great game and I think it could be adapted to a single player like game.
Our lands were once peaceful.
Even though it has a lot of MMO aspects to it and a lot of group content and all that stuff, but just going through the story stuff and the zones and regular questing, ignoring all the group questing, it could be, I think, adaptable to that. So I think that could be nice for people who are interested in it, but if they do that, I just hope it won't affect the LOTRO MMO too much, because having a console, having it to where it's, I would say, almost watered down for console would make it less interesting to me, because there are only so many buttons and combinations you can do on a controller, and it's harder to do communication, like you can easily type on a keyboard. What am I doing? Clearing slain animals. I do not see any slain animals. Wonder what those nets are about. It looks like I can actually click them. Oh, it starts a quest, okay. Then this guy has a quest for me. If I can actually click the fishing net. And Eric Thompson, I'm not sure regular vanilla servers would be coming out. But the other thing is the graphical engine update. Yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. So I think a graphics update, of course, would be nice, especially if they upgrade the engine, make performance better and all that stuff. I'm not sure how feasible it is that something like that actually would happen and we'd actually see it. I'm just like, with everything in that, I'm a little bit skeptical about the whole console and improving graphics in the engine and all that. But I definitely think it would be a good thing. But one of the things with LOTRO is I don't feel like the graphics are all too bad. Maybe because I'm just too used to them. Do you have another quest for me and I just like didn't get it? Or what happened there? Looks like I do have a quest to the northeast, but I'll go ahead and get these ones in this area first. But if they do a graphics update, like graphics upgrade, I don't think that would be a bad thing, but I just hope they don't overhaul a lot of stuff and at least keep it similar style. Except for the bushes, they could get rid of all the ugly bushes and replace them with pretty bushes. Probably talk about the bushes way too much, but it's just like a little thing that if I pay too much attention to it, it actually does bother me. Yeah, LOTRO was as responsive as those other MMOs you mentioned. I haven't personally played BDO or ESO. But with WoW, that's definitely like a smooth, more polished MMO. it would be nice. Because with LOTRO, I really like the gameplay and the class systems and how they all play out, but having it a little bit smoother or polished would definitely be nice. Like with the Warden, sometimes I have really bad, just a little bit of lag, and it makes a big difference on a class like this. So yeah, Curonian, I agree with you that that's why I'm skeptical that anything will really happen, just because I could see it taking a lot of work, and I think they've even talked about some of the limitations. They're probably pushing as much as they can do with the engine they have already. So I'm not sure that's something that would be too feasible without like a complete, I think as you mentioned, complete overhaul. What am I? There's a ring here, boot print. Actually, don't even remember a quest for boot print. I remember doing the fishing nets. It's a wretched dark water. I almost got on my mount before he could attack me. Did not mean to use resounding challenge again. I actually got rid of a bleed. I didn't even want that. So I still need stolen barrels. I have one quest that's actually to the southeast I could have done. I guess for some reason I want to get this northeast one. Thank you for joining the stream, the missile. We're already almost an hour in, wow. I was just looking at the time, I was thinking, it's only been half an hour, so still got a lot to go on the stream, but no, it has almost been an hour. I guess I'm having more fun than I thought here. Invisible walls. This is one of the things actually about Old Anorian that's really annoying. There are a lot of invisible walls like this. Especially I think there was probably a quest item here that I interacted with. Yeah, it looks like that goat. But there's a lot of things like that in Old Anorian area. Yeah, so the Amazon Lord of the Rings series, that is... See, I haven't actually looked at the whole PDF thing. I think it was a shareholder presentation type thing about the acquisition. It included the info on LOTRO. But yeah, like they wanted to upgrade it, I think, or envisioned upgrading it coinciding with the Lord of the Rings series coming to Amazon. I don't know exactly when that's coming out. Probably still a year or two off if I remember correctly. But that is one reason I think it could actually be possible that some of the things at least could be partially done. I almost feel like there are better things they could do though, and maybe they are working on, and hopefully are at least aware of. So like, one of the big topics with LOTRO is the monetization systems, and how compared to a lot of other MMOs, you have to pay for a lot more of the old content, which there is a lot of content in LOTRO, and just like a huge area to explore. So it's a little bit different, I think, than other MMOs in terms of that, but it is a lot more expensive, I suppose, to get into. And just a little bit different because you can get LOTRO points, which you can use to buy quest packs, and you could get more LOTRO points in the new zones, especially if you play alts and that stuff. But overall, I'm not too much of a fan of the monetization of LOTRO. I think they could probably attract a lot more players if they had maybe a little bit more free. Like if you had up to level 50 for free before Moria, and then if you bought the latest expansion, latest full expansion, you'd get all the previous expansions. And if you were VIP, you'd get all that stuff except the latest expansion. I think there are a lot of things they could do like that to like consolidate things and make it easier for people to purchase what they want. And then Eric Petrosian, hello, you've been trying to focus on leveling your hunter, but now I got you wanting to go back to your warden. Well, I honestly don't see too much problem with that, just because I enjoy Warden enough that if I had to choose between a Warden and Hunter, I doubt I would ever actually choose a Hunter. Actually, I'm not sure that's the case. Sometimes I could be in the mood for a Hunter, but that is not too frequent. But yeah, it also depends. Whenever I think about like playing different characters, different classes, usually they're just like totally different progress, so I'd want to play them for different reasons. Like if I played my Hunter right now, I would be in Lonelands, probably doing Garthic Arwen type quests, trying to get that going on him. Compared to here, I'm like doing Western Gondor. So sometimes when I choose the class to play, I actually need to go to Tarling's Crown. I'm kind of surprised. I doubt it's taking you that deep in where you run into all the level 100 elites, which I should probably try to kill a few of. Wonder what's going on there. Hunter of Sardal. I do not know where Sardal is. Wonder if I'll run into them for any quests. Here's a slain hunter. Wonder why there's no period at the end of that. I've discovered a hunter of Sardal felled as he tried to flee. Maybe they just don't have periods. They also don't have like retrieve stolen barrels. They don't have periods after that. Did I need to talk to somebody back there? I sure did. This is one of the reasons I am very slow with questing. I'll get like sidetracked and going where I think I need to go, and then turns out I need to go somewhere else. I didn't even need to go back. I think I even needed to go forward a little. I wonder if it's almost daytime. Late watches, so we're getting close to dawn. So Warhound, there is Tarling's Crown over there. I'm trying to dismount. Not sure EG7 could help with this, but one of the nice things as well would be making the UI scale a lot better with better resolutions. I was actually surprised. I was going to go down here anyway, but I'm surprised it actually wants me to get this close to Tarling's Crown. Oh, that's all. See tents of strange make and numerous men in the distance. I have a lot of morale. I was going to say I could try killing them. So if I die, I don't know where the res circle is. But if I get close to dying, I will just... I wonder if I can pull this one. The Houndmaster, he doesn't have a ranged weapon. Oh, that pulled all of them. I thought it'd be interesting to try to kill one of them. Definitely not all of them. Because they're level 100. So they're 5 levels above me, so they'll deflect a lot. I don't think it's really necessary to even try to use those morale tabs, but... Yeah, so Eric, you said you're into archery in real life, and that's why you were on the Hunter. But for gameplay, you do prefer the Warden? Yeah, the Wardens, they have... I really like their general equipment. Like their general kit, the way they are. I feel like I'm describing that very poorly, but kind of their lore and fantasy. I enjoy the Warden, but I also enjoy their gameplay. And the Hunter, it's kind of actually interesting thinking about archery in real life. I don't basically do any of that. I have fired a bow at like one of those target things once. But as far as I know, in real life it is a lot slower than the Hunter can do in LOTRO.
Gondor needs your aid. These are troublesome times indeed. Gondor needs your aid.
New deed, known to Dol Amroth. So I am known to Dol Amroth, even though this character has never been there. I am level 95, by the way. That means ever since like over half a bar ago, I could have equipped my new LIs, which are a lot stronger than what I have. This one is 150 more DPS about than my javelin. I'm mainly in range stance, mainly actually using my javelin. That's why the person that crafted these, I actually wanted a first stage javelin instead of first stage spear, which was kind of weird. I am in combat or something? Oh no, I have... Where is my thing? I have the subscriber town service somewhere in my inventory. There it is. So I need to open... We're going to take a little break from the questing here. So I try to not overrun more lad. And I need to deconstruct old allies. Actually, did not mean to go ahead and deconstruct that, but that's okay. First I want to reforge. Actually, I don't have anything to reforge either. But now I at least have one slot so I can equip the spear, and then I can deconstruct my old sword. Which is kind of sad. I almost feel like not deconstructing it because it was actually a nice sword for level 85. Yeah, level 85 is when I started raiding a little bit more. Compared to, well, 75 I didn't. That's when I wasn't playing. And then 65, I think I also missed out on that, so that's when I got back into doing, well, playing LOTRO and playing with my kin here. So that's the significance of that LI that I just totally deleted. And then now I do have something to reforge. I wonder why that didn't show up earlier. Now I should be able to equip the javelin and deconstruct my old javelin. Now I need to come up with a name for my javelin and spear. This will be Stick of Gondor. Actually, usually I do Stick. Oh no. Leader. Slot that there to keep those organized, and that is all I really need to do right now. I actually do have Scrolls of Delving left over from level 95 that I'd have no other use for. I'll probably still not make much use of them, but might as well go ahead and use them. And then I think I even have an Iralinga Scroll of Empowerment that I can use. Let's see if this has anything good. Nope. This one, nope. I have some really bad legacies on these. And then I think I can increase the DPS a little bit. I don't know if it's worth really putting a whole bunch of heritage into them. Maybe. If I need another break from questing, I feel like I've done enough of a break now. So if I need another break from questing in the future, I will do that. So I got the new book 1 chapter 4, so I need to go Hill of Erich. So that is east. I think I also have one of the bounty quests was there. Ooh, so we have a travel quest. And Nathan, you said you love playing the Blue Line Hunter, but yeah, people only want the Red Line Hunter for instances now because the Blue Line got nerfed and doesn't do much damage anymore. That was a long while ago. I know a lot of people were upset. Some people are happy because Red Line did more damage, which I can see that viewpoint because Blue Line has like mobility and some other stuff.
These are troublesome times indeed.
But I still think there's like not much reason it couldn't at least be viable. Hopefully this doesn't remind me too much of West Rohan with a lot of quests like this. It's one of the reasons West Rohan was just so slow. It's not bad the first time through it because you get the story and all that, but especially if I went through this like on an alt, which I don't really need to do Western Gondor on an alt, which is nice if I didn't want to. But Central Gondor was not like that at all. It was pretty quick to go through, and there weren't many like instance quests like this where you just had to sit there and wait. Which again, the first time, I think is totally fine. I have so many alerts here. Wow. Arthur Garwind, I think this guy, he's sending me Oh, he sent me a level 95 shield, that is right. That is my kin leader, Jimmy. Thorn shield. He sent me, I think, some Warden allies. Probably didn't put them in my inventory so they won't take up space, but I cleaned my inventory somewhat out. So I need to recount my story to them. Alright. I don't know what my story is about. Is it about my adventure close to Tarling's Crown? Or the spiders, maybe? They were talking about the dead? Or even just my past of the dead? And hello, Merrick Hoostak? You said switching from blue to red for the hunter isn't too difficult. Yeah, they're a little bit similar. I think the main thing is you just can't, like, shoot on the run with redline. Also, I'm not sure that blue line hunters ever use swift bow. At least I'd never tried to. Sometimes I'd accidentally use it on my blue line hunter, but usually avoid that and focus on the focus consumers. Wonder that shield, I didn't look too much at it, I just like auto-equipped it because it's 10 levels higher than the one I had. Actually looks like it could almost be a little bit worse than the one I had, but there's enough that's better. Like, I'd lose physical mastery with the new one, but I get enough to make up for it, I think. I am at 215.7% for my range physical mastery, and I think I can go to 225. Maybe? Might even be able to go to 235. Actually, 240. Not entirely sure the cap, but I'm thinking it is 240%. If I get anything, I get... Yeah, so it's 240% it looks like for the range physical mastery cap
How may I help you?
for Wardens. So Bach, you asked what color line is recommended for each class. You're trying to decide what to play, but can't decide. So for solo gameplay, yeah, redline can be good. Redline is a DPS spec for every single class, so it's hard to go wrong with that for solo. But yeah, some classes people prefer the blue, red, or yellow depending what's viable. Pretty much any spec can be used for like leveling and easy content, even if it's outclassed or not as good as other specs. So for example, for the Warden, both the red and blue line, not the blue line, I mean the red and yellow line would be recommended, but not the blue line, because tanking on a Warden is not good nowadays. East and slightly south, and I guess I still have Tarling's Fang, Circling the Prey. Roving Threats, that's the one I do not need. Bounty, the White Stag, and then the other one, Tarling's Fang. Actually, I do not see that on the map anywhere. Is it Tarling's Fang? I wonder where that is. Pass of the Dead? Nope. I wonder if it just doesn't show, or where it is. It says somewhere on the hill south of the Hill of Erich. So I should be somewhere here-ish, according to that description. Don't see him on any of the maps, though. So I think I will try to approach from the south if I can. If I can get up this hill. Doesn't look like it. Mountain Lion. I'm guessing Tarling's Fang is going to be a Mountain Lion. I could actually put floating names on. Looks like there's a warband nearby. I think that warband's supposed to be pretty tough. Tarling's Fang, I don't know if bears really have fangs. Like, just thinking about fangs, I would think that would be a mountain lion. But this warband, I was thinking that's something I could try to solo, but I think they're on mount, which would be pretty difficult. I really doubt Tarling's Fang is going to be a goat. What gambit did I use? I used some sort of gambit where it did not have the effect that I intended. Wait, did I actually... No, that is a different quest. So I have a different quest right here. That is Warband, okay. So for endgame, yeah, endgame is still going to be similar for the specs. It really depends on the class, which line is viable. Okay, so the warband's northeast. I'm still searching for that Fang guy. Just says south of the hill, somewhere in the hills to the south of the hill. He has given me all the information of the whereabouts, which is just south of a hill, south of a hill. Okay, should be, I think, where roughly his territory would be. I could always look on the LOTRO wiki if I do not find him, which I might do anyway. But I also don't know if it means he could be like way up here or not, so I'll look on the LOTRO wiki real quick. Hopefully it actually has this information. He is, okay, he's right at the, wow, almost right where I am. So according to the LOTRO wiki map, he's around here at 60 south and so a little bit north of where I am and 68.5 west, so I need to head 65.8 west, so never mind, just north of me. I don't know if it's like he patrols around here. So I can, Bach, if he'd like, I can talk about, I think I went too far north at that point. It doesn't matter too much, just because it's a bounty quest, I think I can do it whenever. It shouldn't unlock anything or gate me from anything. At least I would hope not. This would actually be a nice time to have a tracking tome. I seem to always get those when I don't want them. From like Hobbit gifts or something. Doesn't look like I have one. I might even have one in my vault. Or my shared storage. I'd probably have one. If I have one, it would be in my shared storage, I think. Track. Oh, I opened my vault again. Let's try this one more time. Nope, no tracking tome. Okay, we can look back for him later. I don't want to spend the whole time here circling around. So Nathan, you said the thing you don't like about switching specs is you gotta level up another LI, and I agree with that. That's especially annoying at the level cap with just how much you have to put into each LI. It's one of the things about all the classes that need to weapon swap. And especially that weapon swapping is even required for classes to be good enough to like do enough damage for endgame content, for the high difficulty tiers at least. Usually people say tier 3 plus, but like I think Hunter and Champion is recommended to weapon swap at after tier 3, or starting with tier 3 content. So I think I need to do something up here, but I actually don't know that I do. Okay, so this is for the book quest. What class is a dual-wielding warrior type? That would be Champion, would be the closest to that. With the Champion you can definitely dual wield, and for anything casual you can dual wield with both the DPS specs. And then ideally on a Champion, I was just talking about weapon swapping, you would actually for certain skills switch between a two-handed weapon and dual wield, like in the middle of combat. I really need to, I feel like weapon swapping is a video or a topic I need to make a video about, because I just personally don't think it should be a thing. But again, that's just for higher difficulty endgame content.
My name is Rogalan, and I'm proud to serve.
Interlude, I do not want to do that.
I know little.
I don't think. Is a repeatable quest? Oh, it's an instance quest? Experience interlude those who are dead. No, that is a session play. I do not want to do a session play. I do not like session plays. Actually, I feel like I should filter that quest, but I will not. Somebody just like randomly teleport here? Or just log in here maybe? So the actual quests I have the White Stag, and I still have to actually defeat Blackroot Mountain Lions. I did not know I had a quest to defeat the Mountain Lions. I can do that as I search for the White Stag and go back and search for Tarling's Fang. Oh, so for the Champion, if you're wondering for endgame what spec people play, you could do the red line for single target or the yellow line for AoE. As far as I know, they're both pretty viable. I think for boss fights, people probably usually use the red line for the single target DPS, but there might be certain instances where you'd want to use the yellow line for AoE. That's an interesting look at the moon rising over the mountain. I think it's rising, it could be setting because it is for dawn. Probably looks like it's rising because I'm going up, so it looks like the moon's also going up relative to the mountain. Alright, so we need some sort of white stag. Except this is not a white stag, this is a Tarling's neck. Oh, so that's Tarling's crown, this is Tarling's neck, and then Tarling's Fang is somewhere around there. Which I know is unrelated for what it actually is, but... So where's the White Stag? I think I was doing the wrong quest. The book quest will take me to the next zone, I think. But I want to actually do the regular quest first. The regular zone quest, that is. Nice thing about Origin is I can just do ranged resounding challenge, especially in the yellow line, and as I'm waiting for the mobs to die I can just pull more if I want, or I can get on my war steed and start running away. So Bach, you asked about Guardian for tanking. So Guardians, back in the day, like not that long ago back in the day, they were, I think, always considered the best tanks. They would be the go-to tank in LOTRO. Except recently, the captain has become a better tank. I know captains can get a lot of morale, like very large amount. And they also have good defenses. They even have better aggro than they used to. I think they've gotten updated, better force taunts. That was one of their weaknesses before. And they also give fellowship support. They have all the buffs that captains have, and they have some defensive oriented ones. with the tanking, but they still have fellowship support. They also have a really strong in combat res. They have
How may
just a bunch of things. They have strong cooldowns as well. That's an important part for tanking now.
Have you heard the rumors of enemies pressing in from all sides?
So having said that though, Guardians aren't like bad tanks. They're probably still the second best tanks. I don't know. Actually would be curious how they compare to Beornings. They're probably a little bit better at least, if I had to guess. But yeah, they're not bad tanks, and I think a lot of people still play their tanking Guardians. It's just yellow line captains are preferred for tanks. But the endgame meta often changes as they nerf and buff stuff. And I think they're planning on reworking the tanks. Here is the White Stag. Oh, this is actually an elite. I should pursue it. I wonder if I can actually catch it on foot. Oh, I have to capture it? Oh no. I thought I was going to get to kill an elite for this quest. I might still be able to, but it sounds right now more like... I wonder if it do anything with it. I tried to press U, that's why I got too many requests. Before I get any closer, this tag is really sprinting away now. Oh, I completed that? I honestly have no idea what's going on with that quest. I don't think I did any capturing, and I started following it on my horse at least. So, oaths broken, oaths kept. That is to the north. We'll go ahead and do that quest. Oh, Yellow Guardian. So Nathan, I also like Yellow Guardian. If I were to tank on a Guardian, I do prefer Yellow Line. I know it's less defensive and for certain things a little bit weaker because of that, but it does a lot of damage and a lot of AoE. I like that part of it. That's actually why I actually do like Warden tanking, because of the high damage. As long as you have sufficient heals and don't get one shot. Oh yeah, captains, they even have a cooldown. I think it lasts around 7 seconds as the buff. Might even last longer. But they can't die during it. So you have all that time where you can be at 1 health and just live. And it prevents you from dying. Wardens supposedly have a cooldown that prevents you from dying, but it actually, for a while now, has been bugged. And you can take lethal damage with Never Surrender and die. It used to be it would prevent you from dying and heal you if you drop down below the morale threshold. Okay, this is really a camp. I'm going to kill this raider real quick. Get these quest items, but this is the type of camp. We haven't been able to do this too much today, but I'm going to do some AoE. We accidentally attempted a big AoE pull in Tarling's Crown. Which was more so, I attempted to pull 2 mobs and pulled 2 camps plus those 2 mobs. Looks like there's a cave here. I don't know if that's supposed to go to the Paths of the Dead, or just like a cave that connects to it maybe. Kind of like that spider area, it said it looks like the Paths of the Dead. Actually, I don't know. I'd have to go like way underground to actually connect. I thought I did something with the banners. I might already have the quest, but if it gives me a new quest, that means I might have missed it. Evendim's a good place for Yellow Guardian, especially if you do quests in Anuminos. That should give you a lot of options for big AoE pulls. I was going to actually try to interrupt him, but that did not work out. I got a full inventory now. I'll just let it stay full for a little bit. I thought I cleared out my notification for new mail. There we go. Hello, Vulgar TG. You said you've been enjoying the LOTRO streams, but a little off topic. You asked if I was still planning on playing WoW and doing streams of that every now and then. How am I feeling about Shadowlands? So I do plan to do that. I'm actually working on the annual gameplays. I'm also doing that with WoW. Looks like I might need to go into the cave. And I would probably... I do want to do the Shadowlands content live stream it on my mage. I'm thinking weekly. I'll try to do WoW weekly. I used to do WoW Wednesday, so I might be able to do that again. I kind of forgot I did it specifically on Wednesday. I wonder if that would still work for me. Okay, this looks like it's just a regular old cave with a whole bunch of supplies here. I didn't even need to really bother. With all the supplies outside of the camp, it looks like you can get everything here. And there's an extra corpse for me to just loot, if I can find my way there. I want to explore this cave a little bit more. I don't know... Oh, he has chunks of Earlingascarn. I do want the chunks of Earlingascarn, I just gotta get rid of something. Don't want that scroll case. Also, these red LIs, I don't need those. Guardians. Guardians, I know I have 2 Warden ones. Okay, so those are over there. So Hunter Williaman, you said you've never seen me live and you're new, but you have a quick question about the tanks. Will you be able to do challenging content as a Beorning tank, or is Captain and Guard too good? You're new and not looking to heal. So the Beorning, you can do fairly challenging content as a tank. I tank on my Beorning, but I tank level 60 stuff, which isn't the most challenging, but I'm a sufficient enough tank there. But if you're looking more at endgame, like the current level 130 content, the current meta with that at least, I think Beornings are maybe slightly below Guardian, which is a bit below Captain, and they're probably better than Champions and better than Wardens for sure. So you might not be able to do like the highest tier content. I think the highest tier is tier 5. I'm not sure a Beorning could work for that, but I'm not like speaking from actual experience with that. Not sure examining this fire pit is doing too much. I probably just need to wait for them to do their talking. Wow, I'm surprised it actually let me jump back here. I expect there to be an invisible wall at those spikes. Oh, now they're going to attack me. Yeah, Dar Narbogud is definitely challenging, which reminds me, we never actually got to doing Dar Narbogud on my Beorning. So we had a Moria group, a kin group, and we were, by the time Gondor came out, and I think people started switching to their other characters to either get ready for Gondor, or a lot of people were taking like little breaks around Thanksgiving, kind of like me. But yeah, we never actually got around to running Dar Narbogud, which was something I was looking forward to, so maybe we can still do that before we switch over to doing Mirkwood stuff. Looks like I still need some items out here, or is it just... It's probably just these corpses. There's so many of these type of things in Central Gondor, is pretty nice, and I think there's a lot of the bandit type people. Oh, I am floating on this house. So I'm finally ready for quest turn-ins. I still need some more mountain lions. I don't even know where I got that quest from, but Something I should probably get working on at some point. Oh yeah, the shield deeds on Guardian. This is like from quite a while ago, Nathan, but on my Guardian on this server, I did the same thing. I actually even played Redline a little bit with a shield just to get some of the deed progress. I don't remember exactly if I completely finished with the shield. I have to play this Guardian again to see, but yeah, I worked pretty hard actually on my Guardian, even though I usually prefer two-hander because I like the red line's actually my favorite spec on the Guardian. I love DPSing on them, as not viable as it is. They give you milestones at each of these little camps, which is interesting, but I don't quite think I always need one here. Okay, I was going to say it's odd I didn't get another quest, but I actually even have another quest to turn in. I can get a ring, which compared to the epic battle jewelry is not going to be useful. This time, it decided to go really weird and not give me another quest. I wonder if it has to do with circling the prey. Probably should try to get that done. And make sure I don't have any other quests I'm missing, which I am missing other quests. Wow. So I actually didn't finish the banner quest. So Merrick, you asked what server I am on. I am on Anor. I also play on Arkenstone, but this character and the main kin I play with is on Anor. I am in a kin on Arkenstone. I feel like I haven't been too active with them lately, but yeah, I mainly play, well, at least right now I'm mainly playing on Anor. I feel like at kind of December, November, not December, November, the months before those, November, October, and even September, I was like 50-50 split between the Anor and Arkenstone. But with Gondor and going through that, especially on this character, I'll probably be on Anor a little bit more until we either get something new or I just want to break and I still need to do some Elder Slave questing and could even do Mists of Wonderland questing on my Warden there. So the legendary servers are up to level 100 now, and it includes all the level 100 content, which I'm really glad they decided to do that. I feel like it's a lot better that we have all level 100 stuff instead of just like Western Gondor for a few months and then moving on from that, but need one more banner, and I am targeting a banner. Actually, I need 2 more banners. But yeah, we have through Old Anor and then so update 17. I'm really looking forward to update 18. I know I want to spend quite a bit of time at level 100, give me time to actually go through it all, especially on this character. But I wouldn't even mind taking the opportunity to level an altar too if we really stay here. Like, could even stay here all year. It might be a little bit long, but there's just so much content that I wouldn't mind this update actually lasting until 2022 or the end of 2021. Okay, so we need 3 more mountain lions and supposedly a Tarling's Fang. Guessing another mountain lion in this area. And I also have something, the Walking Shadow, to search the Hill of Reg for sign of the Dark Figure. But yeah, update 18. Releasing on the server is something I would be excited for. Examine the strange footprint. I don't even see a strange footprint. Apparently I noticed it, but I don't actually see it. Is it just something I needed to walk over? I got the quest done. And that is back at the camp where I didn't get anything extra. But while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and check again for that signature and see if I can kill a few more mountain lions. But with update 18, whenever that comes to the server, I'm guessing that we'll do all the level 105 content, so we'll also get update 19, the flower picking update, and update 20, the pre-Mordor update, the wastes. Okay, so that should be all of the mountain lions I need. Now I just need to find a way up to... Was this an auto bestow quest? So this wasn't actually something I really needed to get done. I didn't think it was because all my regular quests were progressing fine. Oh, did I see him? I did. This time he was super easy to spot, and I even remember looking in this exact area before. Could be somebody killed him or something before I made it. So now I have all of my quests done, I believe. Besides the warband, we can actually... I don't really need to track that, but I can attempt to do the warband. I don't think it will go all that well. So Vulgar TG, you asked for a roughly new player. Would I recommend a legendary server? It interested you because you thought I was around level 60 cap, but it sounds like you should keep playing your characters on Gladden, and that's probably what I would recommend. The only reason I pretty much play here, it's nice that it's getting to be daytime. I don't know how long it's been day. It's dawn, okay. I just noticed that it was bright. This is the bright blue. It's not even quite at the bright blue, but just the brightness of Western Gondor that I like. Okay, targeted an elite. So it's warriors and archers. They aren't actually mounted, but they're ranged ones. And a nemesis. I wonder if I could do this in blue line. That's what I'd probably try it as. At least. Trait points to spend. I really doubt it will help, but I do have consumables. I don't even know what these consumables are, but I'll just click all of them and hope I get a few good ones eaten up. Probably swap that with Wages of Fear. Okay, it looks like they're all running to me, which is a good thing in a way. Oops. Don't mean to use ranged boot. Try to switch to melee stance. Oh, you can't actually stack? Yeah, that did not work too well. That's the problem with the Warden. I can self-heal somewhat decently. The self-healing's definitely been nerfed, but I'm actually curious. The res circle, okay. That wasn't a big setback with the res circle. I thought it was somewhere around here. But yeah, it's really nice that it's daytime. I always feel like whenever I'm questing and streaming, it's nighttime in game. It's usually evening time in real life for me. It's like 8:30 right now, which I'm oddly tired for how relatively early it is. But with the legendary server, I think I got distracted with the warband. I, in general, would not recommend it to a new player, especially at this point. Back at the level 50, 60, even 65 or 75 cap, I probably would have recommended it if you are interested in that content specifically, but right now there's basically, in my opinion at least, not too much reason to join it. There's a little bit, especially if like Throne of the Dreadtear, if you're really interested in that, that's going to be coming up. And then doing like the Mordor raids, which I never did, or even the update 23 raids. That's actually something I'm interested on the server. So for me, I do have a little bit of interest there, but I also only have that interest partially because I'm already in a kinship here that I know will be looking to run that content. The only thing with the kin I'm in, we have a decent amount of people that are actively on, but we used to always have enough, and even more than enough, to run a 12-person raid like back in Ingvar, when we would run whatever that raid was called, the Rift of Ner'zgashu. need to talk to Nurses. Why don't I need to defeat him? Yeah. Wonder. Oh, I'm in melee stance. That is why. Well, actually, now I'd want to be in melee stance. Now that I switched to range stance, I want to be back into melee stance. This is how to not fight as a warden, by the way. For some reason, I thought he reset. I actually don't know what was going on with that. Okay, so now I'm ready for turn-ins again. So any US servers that have a low population, so the legendary servers are in the US. They aren't technically labeled as US in the launcher, but those would be the lowest. Ithal's probably the lowest populated server, but I'm guessing you mean a regular US server, and I'm not sure the lowest. You have a character on Brandywine. I think that's one of the more popular ones. Landreval, I don't think is one of the most populated. It might be a middle of the pack one. Crick Hollow is also pretty populated, I think, if I remember correctly. So what's the other one? Gladden, maybe? If Gladden's a US server, which I think it is, that might be the least populated one, if I remember correctly. That is just based off of my memory from when I last looked. I can actually look real quick. I don't know how accurate these sites are, but like there's this German site that's lux-hdro.de that tracks the servers. And I think there's another one, but the graphs are oddly harder to read, even though these ones are also not the best graphs. But yeah, it looks like the least populated one is Gladden, and then Landreval, and then Crick Hollow, Arkenstone, and Brandywine are pretty similar as the three most populated. So Ivan, you said I should create a separate kin and invite all my channel members in it. I could do that. And you are back to promoting the channel membership, so I definitely appreciate that again. And yes, I don't have that many channel members, but we got 3 new ones yesterday, which was insane. I should probably save some of these task items. I don't know if all these could be used in like Central Gondor. They probably have a new one up there. New set of like task items. But Central Gondor and Old Anorian would be 2 good places to save task items for. Minas Tirith might be the best one, actually. Oh, I actually wanted to look at Hood of the White Mountains. I thought that could look interesting. This one does not. At least to me.
Gondor needs your aid.
So we need to go back to Malthalim. And I also have 2 quest turn-ins at that little camp that had the bounties. Ooh, it looks like I got some sort of not-in thing. Little piece of essence gear. This one actually has some decent base stats. I know the essences are so bad at level 100 and level 95 even that base stats are better. Don't want to destroy Warden's Mace. That must be a high level one. 96. I'm actually curious if I just look at the raw level 96 mace, it is slightly worse than my level 95 second age. That's good to know that I didn't like immediately replace that basically.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Rally archers to the defensive Blackroot Vale. Yeah, this guy, he doesn't look too ready for anything. This one did, in comparison. Etchel. He is rallied. So, I always want to call it, I'm thinking it's more like Lamedon instead of Lamedon. I really doubt the zone would be called Lame Dawn at least, but... you say Lamedon has really nice armor set cosmetically, so I will try to pay attention to that, because this character, while I like this cosmetic set, I am looking for something new for Gondor. Talk back to Malthalim. I don't think I've sold any of my quest rewards. I don't know all of these. Does look like I've been picking medium armor, but I don't quite have, I think, pants. Oh, and I accidentally picked the boots, the heavy armor boots. But it doesn't look like that armor set would interest me too much anyway. Oh, I could get a sword or a shield. Try to pay more attention to shields. Doesn't look like there's too many interesting weapons. So what is this quest? It's probably a travel now type quest. Seemed like we were preparing a defense for something. Getting the archers ready. This is a dark pact.
While their identity remains unknown, they intend to form a pact with the ruthless dead. A union that could spell doom for Gondor. These are troublesome.
Okay, so we're at the Hill of Wretch. Need to follow him. I was going to go full speed on my war steed, but I'll just do regular follow. Let him slowly do stuff, and while he slowly does stuff, what is the skill? Defense of the Earlingus. For some reason, I just don't remember that icon at all. But while we do this stuff, or never mind, we're in combat now. Oh, I'm still in tank spec, and I'm in melee stance. Nice thing about playing tank is I actually just had my masteries reset. That is a fun trait to even get like in the red line. Okay, while we follow him further up, I'm going to try to reforge my ally real quick. At least I got to the screen. Range damage. This one actually getting range damage is good. So now that I have range damage, I think I can use the Scroll of Empowerment. Not that it matters basically at all, but I can go ahead and use the Scroll of Empowerment just to get even more increased range damage, which is actually on my leader, it looks like. Got that. Now I'm going to go range stance. All the meanwhile they're killing Curion, it just takes me a minute to get set up. So if I lived in any part of Middle Earth, where would it be? You would like to live in Bree or Rivendell, Ivan, so I have no idea what gambit I just used. I used the Morale Tap, which is okay because I can just use it again and get all that AoE damage. So that's a good question. Somewhere I would like to live. Trollshaws wouldn't be too bad. That is, you mentioned Rivendell. That is somewhat close to Rivendell. Foreshall would be interesting. I'm not in real life that much of a very like cold weather person. But in terms of the game, I think that would be a pretty neat place to live. The only problem is it's so far away from everything. Like, if my character had to actually travel, like if I had to walk back, which I guess is what you would do, you'd like ride a horse. They of course have swift travel on LOTRO, but it's just cutting out. Like if I lived in Surrey Kyla, that would be so much travel to try to get anywhere. I wonder where that road's supposed to lead. Ingmar, maybe? It would be really neat if someday they like went and actually connected that. I don't know how much of a distance it actually is between Foreshall and Ingmar, but I remember being up there and wanting to see that connect. Here's Nerzus again. Pretty sure we just killed him, but I guess he's dead anyway. In Vulgar TGS, if you can transfer characters to another server, and you can. Currently, they don't have it available from, so they closed a bunch of servers way back when, And currently they don't have it where you can actually transfer your old characters off of those, but I think they're planning on fixing that at some point. Hopefully, I was like prepping all these while I'm cowering from all the dread. I was prepping all these games, but now that the Elite Master came out, I'm not sure we'll have to fight. Especially with all these Ruthless Dead, as fun as that would be. They're really stacking the dread though. That's gotta be 8 dread, that's a lot. Now I'm stunned. Now I'm rooted. But one of the servers, you can't transfer from a legendary server to a regular server or a regular server to a legendary server, and you also can't transfer between NA and EU. Maybe now it looks like we can defeat him. Oh, that was actually pretty close with my health.
Gondor needs your aid.
That wasn't too bad of a solo instance, it was more active than the other one. And I would just say, comparing to Westerohan, it's like immediately noticeable how much less slow it is. I feel like faster is a bit weird because this didn't seem extremely fast to me, but it was definitely a lot less slow than
Gondor
Westerohan.
needs your aid.
I wasn't too interested in any of these weapons or shields, so I'll see if the Warden shield is actually useful. It has less armor, more finesse, less critical rating, less agility, less vitality, less fate, but it has more crit defense. This one, nope. Probably should have picked the one that sold for more, but all the armor sells for so little in LOTRO. And Nathan, I have tried Standing Stone Games' other MMO, Dungeons and Dragons Online. I used to play it a little bit, I think to like level 3 or something, way back in the day. But I didn't really like it all too much back then, and I tried it again last year, but it also wasn't quite for me. I didn't think it was too bad, it was just something that didn't really connect with me too well. So I think we are headed to Lamedon. Just hopefully the questing there isn't lame. And Ivan, I do not think you're wrong for thinking LOTRO has the biggest map out of any MMO or game in general. I think some people have actually compared it to other games. Not sure exactly the source on this, I don't remember anymore, but some people have compared it to other games, and I think it's been pretty large in comparison to a lot of games. I don't know any or many that are bigger than LOTRO. It's just a huge game with huge areas. Just thinking about the map, you have Eriador, which is pretty large area. The zones are kind of smaller than what we have nowadays, but that was the base game. And then you have Moria, which on the map looks like it'd be a small area just like right here. But that's got a bunch of zones that are decent size. Then you have all the Rovanian stuff, just starting with Lothlorien, and then they did Mirkwood and West Rohan, East Rohan. Like, these areas are actually pretty big. I think they look even smaller than they are on this map. And then you have all of the Gondor areas. This is like a very huge region on its own. Mordor, not super huge compared to like Gondor, but it's still quite a big area. You also have northern Mirkwood, Erebor, and Mithrin, all these areas that add up. So yeah, there's just huge area in LOTRO. But as far as the questing goes, I am ready for the next area. And I feel like I've been streaming about 2 hours, even though it honestly feels like it could have only been an hour. So I think this is probably a good time to take a break and wrap up the stream. I might go ahead and travel to Lamedon at least. But first I want to go up here and explore a little bit. Just because it's nice bright blue day in Western Gondor, I want to see if I can get somewhere nice to view way out. Well, you can actually see, I don't think I've been up here to see that before. I don't know what structure that is, but there's something way off in the distance there. Could be something from Tarling's Crown. I don't know if it would be anything from the Cape Heavens of Belphilus. But yeah, there's something way off in the distance there. And hello, Velshko, you said you fell asleep yesterday. That is definitely okay. And yeah, I agree, Ivan. Time definitely flies when you're having fun. Which is good because that does mean I have been enjoying Western Gondor so far. Not sure it'd be something I'd immediately want to do on an alt. I don't think it's been quite that good. But it's definitely better than I used to give it credit for, at least so far what we've done in the first zone. There are 3 zones, I believe. Blackroot Vale, Lamedon, and then Havens of Belphilus. And then there's also technically the Paths of the Dead, but I think we have to unlock that. And then Central Gondor also has 4 zones. There's Ringlow Vale, Dor and Ernil, Lower Lebanon. Actually, there are only 3 zones. Lower Lebanon. Yeah, Lower Lebanon. Upper Lebanon's Eastern Gondor. And Eastern Gondor has Lost in Arch area. Actually, this Pelennor. Okay, Lost in Arch could actually be. This is Old Anorian. Okay, maybe Lost in Arch is a part of Eastern Gondor. There's Upper Lebanon, which I think is a part of Eastern Gondor, and then Lost in Arch probably is a part of Eastern Gondor and South Ithilien, so like 3 zones there. Old Anorian has, looks like 2. Pretty large zone with Talith, Anor, and even Pelennor, including Minas Tirith and Osgiliath. That was actually Eastern Gondor. But anyway, that's just a little bit about Gondor. I don't remember what started that. But yeah, this area of Gondor, it's a huge area. It's just a long strip of river and road, but that's an example of how it's actually so large. This is a nice river. It looks a little bit better during daytime because of the reflections. You can see the current a little bit more. So Ivan Stainer, you actually asked if I have a gold making guide. So back in the update 18 era of LOTRO, maybe sometime a little bit after that, I wrote a text gold making guide, because I like making gold, and particularly in World of Warcraft. That is one of the things I used to do in that game. And for the longest while actually did when they introduced the WoW tokens, I would just farm enough gold to pay for that. Even in Legion, I think, that wasn't all that long ago. In Legion, I would do stuff to make gold. Like crafting pants and then disenchanting them. Also did that in Classic WoW. But that type of stuff. And yeah, at level 130, it's definitely easy to make gold. You can, I think just even running in-game content, you just get stuff you can sell and make gold that way. Do dailies, get starlight crystals from doing things like Throne of the Dread Terror. And Himmel777, you said you heard someone bring up DDO. You've been playing DDO and listening to this stream, and you got blinded and cursed. That does not sound good. Oh, so you got blinded and then you got cursed, so you couldn't. What? That's a roving threat. So I was reading the comment, and I got distracted. I almost ran into the roving threat. That probably wouldn't have ended up too well for me. You asked, what is this horse armor set, Jonathan? And that is a good question. appearance? Alliance of the Third Age. So that was from Mordor, I believe, the pre-order from that. Or the Ultimate Fan bundle, it wasn't. It's still a bundle you can get, not just pre-order. I think that's what I have. I don't have the tail equipped. I also have the orc head on a pike. It is a very important part to the armor. It brings it all together. And then I think I got a spotted Warsteed appearance. I don't know how I got that, but it's better than the default one. I feel like I've been talking about the nice bright blue Gondor that we see now. And even with it being so many trees cluttering here, I guess it's the sky, there just aren't many clouds. It makes it feel so wide open compared to other areas. It seems like Rohan's often cloudy or rainy or just like not as bright looking. Here it's just like clear blue skies. This is also a nice area. This is Lamedon. It's got some pink trees mixed with the green trees. The pink adds a little bit of color. I believe I have a quest coming up, it looks like.
If you could bring one of these barrels back to my father, I will follow with the other.
Oh, so low levels. Making gold on low levels, I would recommend gathering professions. So like prospector and not woodworker, forester. You can gather low level resources and people pay for them to quickly level up their crafting. It kind of sucks if you're a new player and don't want to do the gathering and maybe want to buy some mats because they cost a lot of gold, but that is a good way to make gold. Like well, this server is not a good example. I was going to say I could check on Arkenstone. I would be able to check, I know, and do an example, but like, let's just see rich iron ore on the server. 20 for 5 gold, that's not all that much. I'll just search ore, see if there is sort, buyout. Oh, lore. While I am here, I'm going to go ahead and bind my milestone. Okay, yeah, stuff's relatively cheap on this server, so that wasn't the best example type of stuff, but Ivan Stainer, you said you get 100 plus gold in 30 minutes doing Minas Tirith dailies. I honestly don't know if that is all that good of an amount nowadays. It probably isn't too bad. For me, I feel like on Louisden at least, just doing whatever endgame activities I do, just like accumulate so much gold.
Gondor needs your aid. How may I help you, friend? These are troublesome times indeed.
Well, apparently I'm starting the questing here, but that's okay. We don't have anything that's really taking me out on a big adventure. Pair squeaky chairs. I feel like I should go ahead and get that Avonk and start his quest. I know I wasn't planning on doing this much questing, but that is okay. So I need to repair squeaky chairs. I don't even know where the chairs are to repair. Is it inside his home, maybe? No, on the map it doesn't look like here are chairs. This is a creaky chair. I don't know if it's squeaky though. Hello 058 the Great. Yes, people still do play this a lot. I would probably be an example of that type of player. I usually play LOTRO every day. In general, going forward, I would probably try to stream it almost every day at least. But this week in particular, and the next couple or even few weeks, I probably won't quite be able to do that much. This is the first quest I think that we've really had to do a bunch of town stuff. It's nice that we went a whole zone before having to do much of that. I know there was a lot of talking in the first one, and doing things with people, but this is the first one that's actually giving me some labor work to do. Oh, where do I carry this? Southeast? Carry the crate of carrots to the wagon bound for Callambel. So Callambel's to the southeast, so I guess the wagon is at least somewhat headed that way. And there's a ring on the map there. There are kids running around. I mean, children. And then I need to pick cabbages. That is to the northwest. Should be able to defeat more Avank on the way. Surprised there are Avank here. I would associate them maybe a little bit more with water. They're in East Rohan, I know, where I don't think there's too much water, so maybe not. This almost reminds me of the Tiller's farm, I think that's what it was, in Mists of Pandaria and WoW. I know it's not quite like that, but I guess just picking the vegetables and a tiny bit of the landscape, it's just like somewhat a little bit familiar. Or somewhat similar to that. Okay, so where are the cabbages though? I can't even see them. They are growing in these little things. Hamel, you asked if I would say Standing Stone Games has been doing a good job of supporting the game, and I think overall they haven't been doing a bad job. I think there are a few things they could do to better make the game better, but I would say they've done a good job supporting the game. They still develop stuff with it and all of that, so I do think they've done a good job. Doesn't look like I want any of those quest rewards.
These are troublesome times indeed.
So even though I think they could do an even better job supporting it, maybe just a few things that could use some improvements in my opinion, I definitely don't think they've done a bad job. I need to have dinner with the Gladian's family. I'm actually a little bit hungry right now, so it's a good time for dinner.
Gladian and his wife
Just because of this being called Have Dinner, I'm actually interested in it. Oh, except I gotta gather dishes.
These are troublesome times.
I didn't sign up for that, I just signed up to eat. Somebody's plate, it looked a little bit tipped over, or just like leaning.
How may I help you, friend?
Find out what the commotion is all about.
Gondor
It's an
needs your
injured person. So Ivan, that's actually interesting that you said they could spend more money on advertising, which they probably could spend money on advertising. But I heard that they still do advertisements. I personally haven't seen one either, but I think there was a big fuss about there actually being an Instagram ad for the game at some point somewhat recently. Summon the healer. What is the quest? So the book quest is way back northwest. I should probably also get that. And with new players that you mentioned, Bach, I think another issue is they maybe, I'm not entirely sure on this because we can't actually see how much new player retention there is, but to me it's like the new player experience, keeping new players playing. I feel like that's something they could support a little bit more. Kind of what we talked about way earlier about the quest packs and having more content available for free and making it easier for people to buy things if they want to play the content.
Gondor needs your aid.
It's still, I think, not too bad to get into LOTRO, especially if you play it really slow. But I think a lot of people come into an MMO like wanting to get to end game, and LOTRO is more of an adventure to the end game, and that's probably kind of why they do the pricing and still have the expansion packs, as you gotta buy them for like all the content they include. I actually don't even know where I was supposed to follow the healer to. It says follow the healer to Furion. Oh, this is the healer, okay. Or this is Furion, he was in here. Oh, cinematic trailer. So they did the War of the Three Peaks trailer. So I should start with the Mordor trailer. I think that was their first trailer in a while, and a lot of people didn't like that for various reasons, ultimately, that it wasn't that good. And then they made like a better version, but things like that I definitely think could get people a little bit more interested. The War of the Three Peaks trailer, I don't think was... For some reason, that one just didn't really make me excited. It wasn't as bad as the first Mordor one, but I didn't think it was all that great. So I need to get some King's Foil. I actually don't know if I've ever heard of King's Foil in LOTRO before this. Another thing from WoW, I know it's an herb you can pick in that. So DDO also has an issue getting new players. Yeah, the only reason I went to DDO to try it that one time was because they had the free DDO quests type thing. Even though I actually have played and do play Dungeons and Dragons, there just wasn't much to hook me in with that. Yeah, I would hope they would take the opportunity for when the Lord of the Rings TV show comes on to advertise LOTRO a little bit more. And I keep targeting the milestone. I am looking for King's Foil, fresh King's Foil. Where did I find the other ones? Were they just like scattered throughout the ground? There we go. Oh, so you also pick up King's Foil in the starting man area and arch it? I don't specifically remember that. It's been a long time since I've done an intro. Wait, I targeted with the delete key. Okay, that's actually a house. I think I might need to go on that, the apothecary. Oh, so Vulgar TJ, you asked if I've... Is this where I need to pick up bandages? Not looking like it. Yeah, the World of Warcraft cinematic trailers are definitely good. They actually, I think, invest a lot into it. Well, that was a lot of cloths I picked up. Bandage linen. But Star Wars The Old Republic Online? Star Wars SW Tour. For some reason that name, it just didn't sound familiar. I know SW Tor, SWTOR, which is Star Wars The Old Republic, but for some reason typing it out like Star Wars The Old Republic made me not recognize it. But yes, I have played that. I wasn't too interested in the gameplay of it. Basically, question Furion about his attack. Something about missing something? Oh, so the sheets, yeah, those are the sheets I got on the outside after I finally found them. The problem with WoW, I know the cinematics are good and well made and all that, but for me at least, with Shadowlands, and it's more with like Sylvanas, that storyline just doesn't interest me at all, unfortunately. One of the things I like, though, that Blizzard also does is Overwatch. I like their cinematic trailers, which it's been a long time since they've had one. But those are pretty nice as well. Yeah, no vulgar TG. I think it's just late for me, so it just like took me a whole minute to register that. The game wasn't too bad overall. It just wasn't the most fun to me. I really wasn't planning on doing this much questing in the zone, but I'm just having too much fun. Okay, so this looks like a really good time. These are level 98s. Makes me feel like I'm way under leveled. So SW Tor is also over monetized. I'm actually surprised. I thought I've heard that one is good, at least better compared to LOTRO, but I am honestly not sure. I thought when it launched it was like a subscription only, and that was about it. Alright, so it is a good time for AoE. I do need to destroy some tents. Need to defeat violent bandits. That should not be a problem. That is what I am here for. Do a quest for the letter. Tough. That is the name of the enemies, Tough. That's kind of funny. These are like such generic names, Tough and Ruffian. For some reason that quest name, it just made me think of this like being like the Shire. Like violence in Lamadon is something totally unheard of. Now we can destroy tents. We took care of some of the toughs and bandits. And yeah, Hamel, I honestly am not even too familiar with the story with the way they sent Sylvanas. I just know it wasn't interesting to me, especially starting in Legion, that I just totally stopped paying attention to it. And I think going back to the Shadowland cinematic, I do remember the whole Lich King, who I think was Bolvar Fordragon, if I remember correctly. And that also just didn't really interest me too much with the whole breaking the crown thing. I'm really trying to base this off my memory, which I don't even know if that's exactly what happened. And Bryant Weatherton, you said LOTRO's problem is they've gated a bit too much content behind a paywall. I agree with that, and as we talked about earlier, I think, just like you said, Shadows of Ingmar, having up to level 50 basically up until Moria, like free included with the base free to play, could be good. I think LOTRO is kind of similar, Jacob, where if you're a free to play player, you have like a 2 gold cap. Not that gold's the most important thing in LOTRO, you can definitely get by without even paying attention to it. Okay. I still need to recover the satchel somewhere though. Where's the satchel? Oh, I need to return it, not recover it. And then I want to get this book quest turned in. That is my priority right now. I almost feel like Gondor's too pretty for this orc head on a pike. Want to avoid the roving threat. And on top of the too much paywall, it's done in a confusing way. It seems like every day I see a question about like how you get expansions versus quest packs basically, and even sometimes expansion quests, because that was a whole thing, especially when they were on sale for like 99 LOTRO points. People wanted to know if they still need to get the expansion packs even if they got the expansion quest, and like what they needed. And like if you buy the latest expansion, does that give you all the previous expansions like other MMOs, and
Did you find my boy?
just a whole bunch of things like that that probably make it, I feel like people, at least for me, I would be less likely to spend money on a game like that makes it too confusing, just to like not support the system. And that's the thing with like LOTRO, anybody that's played it a while already has all the expansions or at least familiar with it, but somebody that's new might not have the patience to slowly accumulate things like that, especially if they're interested in just like getting to the level cap and doing end game activities, and maybe going back later and slowly exploring all of Middle Earth. But from that perspective and the paywalling, it's hard. There's also a lot of grind for end game content, which is a whole other topic, which you can speed up by paying. Well, you can also buy a level boost. That's actually the most efficient way, is buying a level 120 boost, which gets you pretty much endgame ready besides having to actually level. I should actually pay attention to what crest rewards I pick here to make sure I get all the medium armor ones. I think I accidentally picked a heavy armor one. Growing Despair, this guy has a quest. We're having a lot of quests in this little camp. I'm actually surprised.
I am afraid to wander too far from home lately.
And collect a lot of things. Tumir's Great Adventure. I need a treasure map, a stick sword, and small rocks to use as play treasure. Collecting somebody's favorite book. Here's a stick sword. What am I getting? Small rocks? Very small rock. I can actually see it glowing a little bit, but very hard to see. Wildflower, that is going to be in this field type area, it looks like. Or at least something is. Maybe it's the rocks that are in this field. Wildflower. Niece's Love, is that this one? Where is a wildflower? Oh, it's a really small wildflower. For some reason I expected it to be like a little bush of flowers. Okay, so I have accidentally been ignoring chat for a little bit. So Baki said one thing you're not a fan of about WoW is if your sub is up, you can't play at all. So yeah, you have to subscribe to play WoW. I think there's like a level 20 cap. I'm not even sure if that's the case anymore. They might have reduced it to like level 10. But it used to be a level 20 is what you could play as like a free-to-play trial type account. Not sure if that's still the case. But it's also nice that they have it subscribe to play, because then you don't have, like with LOTRO, you don't have the additional expenses of like having to get expansion packs. The old expansion packs, at least.
Dangerous outside. I am afraid to wander too far from home lately.
So WoW lost 8 million subs at one point. That sounds like an insanely large amount, but yeah, that WoW is just such like a dominant game that
Pressing in from all sides.
I don't know that it can ever really be killed. Probably will continue to slowly like dwindle down.
Our lands were once
Probably even got a good boost in popularity with Shadowlands with the level squish and all that. It definitely made me more interested in it. Playing all my alts was more fun because I could go back to like Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, the type of stuff I liked.
Of enemies pressing in from all sides.
The main thing that keeps me from playing WoW more is the gameplay. I feel like a lot of the classes and specs that I used to
Have you heard the rumors of enemies pressing?
like, or even ones I like now, I just used to like better. And also somebody recently mentioned sound effects. I feel like in WoW sound effects have gotten like a lot worse over the years. I don't know why, but they just sound worse to me. And yeah, Vulgar, I agree with the expansion packs versus quest packs. It really just causes confusion, especially for like the old content, which some of it was released as expansion packs and some of it was just like released as part of an update. And later when they went to free to play, it was called quest packs.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Because usually, so like with Moria first, they did the Moria expansion, and then later they added a new zone. It wasn't technically a part of the Moria expansion, even though it was during the Moria expansion era, but it became a quest pack. It was Lothlorien that I'm specifically referring to right now. But that doesn't really matter to somebody that's like newly joining the game, because it's all just like content, old content at this point. And even with the latest content, there was the big Minas Morgul expansion pack, but then you had like Mists of Wilderland as just a quest pack. And then War of Three Peaks as a mini expansion, which is a whole other thing that's like a fourth one. Third one? There's expansion pack, quest pack. There's also technically the expansion quest pack, which just comes with the quests for the expansion. I believe there is a warband somewhere around here that is a raid warband. I duoed all the Western Gondor warbands, actually duoed with a hunter on my Runekeeper. This one was one of the tougher ones. I'm not sure I can do it, but it is worth a try. There are just so many bandits, I gotta stay far away from them and hit them all with my AoEs. Okay, I have this thing. This is when I can do all my damage. And that is why Barbed Javelins is good, because of all that AoE damage right there. I couldn't really showcase it. Why is my keybind not working? There we go. It's probably hitting the wrong button. But I couldn't really showcase it on Louisden last night, even though I tried to. Okay, so I'll go ahead and... should probably go ahead and switch to melee. I think I have Never Surrender up. Actually, on this character I need to work on. I still actually have some of my class deeds after all these couple of years and all these levels. I still need to do Ambush and I think Dark Before Dawn. Except I'm not doing much damage while doing that. Is she actually running away? So that one wasn't too bad. It was rated as a raid, but it was a lot easier than the regular Fellowship one. They have a lot of like short names here. It's just like the quest name is missing. We were fighting toughs and bandits earlier. So what am I doing? Just searching for signs? Probably need to defeat people, destroy things, usual quest type stuff. So Bryant, you keep having a recurring nightmare about playing Warden on a console port. That does sound like a nightmare. That's why I'm not too sure about a console port. I have been talking too long that I really had to clear my throat there. And my inventory is getting full again, but I think this time I can sell. Wonder what that cloak looks like. That does not look like... It actually looks like a decent cloak, but I'm not interested in the hooded part. that is a neat looking robe. I don't know if I'd ever have anything to match it, but I feel like saving it. It's also a BOE piece of gear. Don't need. Probably I should keep the potions. Wonder if I have any old potions to get rid of. Oh, reputation stuff. Definitely want to keep that. Shouldn't need any of the gear or jewelry. Don't care about the essences. Old potions. I have some, but I want to keep at least the other ones there. So Bach, way back to your question, I really have been doing a bad job about keeping up with chat. I'm getting too interested in the content here, but you asked if you're a VIP sub and you have an in-game character, then your sub runs out, can you still play LOTRO? You still can play. If you're doing quest pack content, you want to have access to that, but if it's something like an expansion, so if it's like War of Three Peaks, and you want to run, say, the new raid, Amdan Domol, and you have the War of the Three Peaks, it's not a quest pack, and it's something you bought separate, so you actually don't even need the subscription or to have any quest pack to be able to run that raid. Oh, I need to click all the dead bodies. That is going to take forever. I know there are other quests in the other Gondor zones in central Gondor that are like that. And I like to just like run through and kill things. I don't like to have to click them after I kill them. It's one of the nice things about LOTRO is the auto loot, and wow, if I ever switch to that, sometimes I don't. What was I gonna say? I don't remember to loot all the time. Oh, he's an invalid target. Anything here?
Why are you bothering me?
Oh, travel now? Let me loot. Was there? No, it was a scholar item.
The Corsairs camped in Lamidon.
Radial wheels. Oh yeah, so that's I guess how they do add more buttons basically to the console. I played one of the Dragon Age games, I think way back in the day, on Xbox 360. And I didn't enjoy it all too much. I thought it was an interesting game, would be an interesting game, but I just could not play a game like that on console. And when I play an RPG, I usually prefer it to be an MMORPG. And that's why I feel like a lot of newer MMORPGs have like more of a single player RPG type feel to them. I feel like that's one reason I personally can't like get into a lot of newer MMORPGs. Even if that's not the case, that's just kind of the vibe they give off to me. So Bach, what I do is I do pay for the VIP, and then you can use your points to buy like expansion content, but the latest expansions, whenever they add a new expansion, they usually wait like 3 months or whatever to add it to the LOTRO store to make you have to pay real money. But after those 3 months, you can use your LOTRO points. And any of the old expansions, so there's Moria, Mirkwood, Isengard, Helm's Deep, Mordor, and Minas Morgul, all of those you could use your LOTRO points. And then as your VIP, you'll be getting more LOTRO points, you'll be getting 500 a month. And you'll also, whatever in-game activities you do, they give you LOTRO points. Like I don't know how many LOTRO points I've probably gotten during the stream, but I've probably completed a couple deeds. I even have the LOTRO points granted. I got 5 LOTRO points from something. So Star Trek Online is on console, but it's not nearly... I didn't even know that game was on console. I'm not too familiar with Star Trek Online, but that's kind of surprising. And Neverwinter is also on PlayStation 4. I remember I played Neverwinter a little back in the day. It had its fun moments.
How may I help you, friend?
I don't remember it seeming like a game that would work well on console, but maybe. Maybe I'm misremembering it a little bit. So I probably shouldn't have done that quest until I actually completed the quest camp, it looks like. I'm starting to get orange quests. I'm surprised. Maybe, I guess with the XP debuff, I don't have too many XP boosts. I have plus 0%, plus 25%. So I'm getting plus 25% and minus 40%. So I'm at 60% and getting a quarter of that. So I'm at 75% of normal XP.
These
Three
are troublesome
quarters.
times indeed.
Plus I started a little bit. I started at like level 94 and a half. I'm just surprised I'm so low level, which I don't think is a bad thing, but yeah, I'll probably do these quests and then kind of turn southward. We'll at least finish this, at least get to Callambel today is what I figure after all this. Already going like 40 minutes over 2 hours, which is usually what I try to stream to, but having fun here in Gondor. It's almost like at this point it's definitely new to me. I think I did a little bit of Blackroot Vale, but this is all essentially new content to me. I feel like my most skipped regions in LOTRO are from East Rohan to up until the Waste. Like East Rohan through North Ithilien is where I skipped a lot because I wasn't enjoying, like the early parts of it I wasn't enjoying. So then I didn't do the next few zones because I just wasn't interested in it. Oh, so there's a new Neverwinter MMO made specifically for console. That's what I feel like they could do with LOTRO, is specifically make a new LOTRO, like take the same world, similar combat, same classes and all that, and then minimize the classes, get rid of all their buttons, make Warden like, I really don't know exactly how combat would work on a controller, but make like 1, 2, 3. You could actually do Warden, I feel like, fairly easily if you get rid of the gambit masteries and just have 1, 2, 3. It could be like right trigger, right button, something like that. Or the A, B, X, Y. Okay, so I still need to destroy weapon stashes and defeat Corsair first mates. I'm surprised I haven't defeated everybody I've needed, but I guess I didn't do too much defeating here yet. There's a tough. There's another tough. There's a first mate. There are signatures. And here's a weapon stash. I got stunned. It's real nice with the yellow line and barbed javelins, how flexible it is, whatever gambit you want to use. Like I just had the gambit masteries to do the heal. I didn't even need the heal. Actually use that for damage, oddly enough. This is a nice part of Gondor. It'd be hard to get like a good screenshot of this area, I feel like, but actually running through it, this is a neat little swampy area, I suppose. Not really something I'd expect a bunch of Corsairs to be yet. It reminds me, another thing with WoW, it just reminds me of something you'd see in WoW that I don't see too much of in LOTRO. There's been a lot of comparisons to WoW, I feel like, in the stream, but it's just reminding me of good things in WoW is why. And as I think I mentioned, I've been working on the annual gameplay, so I was like on that a little bit this morning. So it sounds like Final Fantasy does tab target MMO controller setup well. I think I knew Final Fantasy was on console. Yeah, that's also one of the concerns, is the tab targeting style. I wouldn't really know how that would work too well on a controller, but Because I like the tab targeting of an MMO like this. I don't really like the aiming type ones, I guess. I like being able to click things and not like click to move. And I like being able to target with like tab or click them. Usually I just do tab. I wonder what all these little treasure chests are for. Wonder if I already got that or if I'm like missing a quest this whole time. Do I still need to do the corpse things? Hopefully I finished that quest. Yeah, that's not letting me do anything. Here's a backpack ready for stealing. Yeah, new consoles, they can use the mouse and keyboard. That would definitely open up possibilities for people that want to do that. If you do that, though, I wonder if it has to have some sort of like controller capability. But yeah, you could pretty much port any game if it could just be like you have to use mouse and keyboard when you play that game. Is this first mate? I think we already killed this one. I forgot I was supposed to use Dark Before Dawn. Did not even mean to try to use Fierce Resolve there. Ambush is the main one I have to use for my class deeds. Treasures of the Valley. Ooh, we're level 96. I got 1.5 levels today, at least. That was a lot. Good progress. Got Introduction West Gondor again. I need to filter that. I'd like to turn it in, but I'm way past that. Alright, so we need to go southward and investigate the streets of Lothgobel for signs of Corsair intrusion. Well, there's Corsair intrusion right here. Let's see if they went a little bit southward. There's like an old milestone. If this were an active city, the smell of smoke on the air does not bode well. But if this were like a friendly town, I think that would actually be a milestone. These guys not attack? They're too busy? There they go. The problem with what I am doing is I just need to defeat one and then get its quest. Okay, let me hurry up and get its quest before more die. Oh, here's Allegiance to Jajax. Somebody mentioned Jajax earlier being like the best named NPC. So he has his own tokens, and they're tokens of allegiance to Jajax. There's a lot of stuff going on in this little building. .5 levels in 2.5 hours. When you put it in that perspective, it's not that fast. I've just settled at this point though in LOTRO that level basically doesn't matter. It's kind of a weird thing to think about because I've always played like MMOs, even LOTRO, way back when. Like where level was a very important thing to me, but nowadays it's more, am I in the level range to do whatever content I want to do? Rather than trying to like level up specifically, get to the cap. So like right now this character, I'm just playing to do the content, which is something I definitely used to even be against that. I only like to quest to level up, even though I enjoyed questing. Once I got to the level cap, like in WoW, I would always, oh no, I'm about to lose all my armor. It's all red. Okay, so I still need to collect 11 more tokens and investigate 2 more homes. This door, I gotta like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to get through that with my weapons. We'll see. Almost looks like a little hobbit door. It's way bigger on the outside. It's like the door shrinks on the inside. But we need to investigate 2 more homes. Couple quests here. Here's where they give you all the XP. If I get a couple quests per house. And I turned the camera away where we couldn't even see all that damage go off.
But it is now dangerous to travel far.
Got that quest done. Oh, there are people here.
Our lands were once peaceful, but it is now dangerous to travel far from home.
I collected a few tokens of Jajax as well. Well, it looks like I left somebody alive somewhere. This was a pretty productive house. I guess I did get 2 new quests and I've completed one of the new quests.
The soldiers of Gondor
And now completed 2 of the 2 new quests. But I got good progress on the tokens of allegiance to Jajax and investigated another house. Now I can head northwest again. I feel like we finally almost spent more time in the day than at night. See, I think it's this little house. All these houses seem way larger on the inside than they look on the outside. The store looks more properly sized. Clean messes. Clean messes in the defeat drunken corsairs. These are fun little buildings. I really like this questing town full of investigating houses. Oh, my armor's unequipped. Well, I still killed them decently. Does this house have 2 doors, or was that the one I went in? I really don't know. Alright, I got quests ready to turn in. So I think for armor, I will look at the skirmish camp and there should be a decent set I can get. I also probably got a lot of questing armor that would be more than sufficient, even though I sold a bunch of it. So that's not an option. But yeah, I have no armor on right now. My physical mastery is down to 181 for ranged. Crit is 20%, finesse is 22.6. The big thing is I lost my set bonuses though, but those don't really come into play too much for the content I'm doing. I lost 1 Warden damage over time pulse, which I kill a lot of things before that can go on. And I don't even use power attack, mighty blow, or unerring strike all that often. Playing the range spec. So we need to find and confront Jajax. So Vulgar TGUSF champion using 2-handed weapon is viable, and it is, and USF dual wield is much better. It can be. So for certain skills, using dual wield is better, and other skills using 2-hander is better, because they are very inconsistent in the way they decide to scale things in this game. All these guys are acting friendly to me. Oh, I guess Jajax actually is friendly. For some reason I thought he wouldn't be friendly, even though I thought he was friendly.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Now I'm drinking mysterious liquors. But yeah, with champion, certain skills will be stronger with 2-handed weapon and certain ones will be better with dual wield. Usually ones that do an additional attack when you equip a dual wield weapon, those ones will typically be the ones that are better when you dual wield. So that's why at endgame, for high difficulty content, people will swap between dual wield and two-handers depending on which skill they're using. So like right before you use a skill, you swap to a two-hander, and then right before you use another skill, you'll swap back to dual wield, and just keep doing that every time you want to use one of those skills. But in general, yes, two-handed will be viable enough if that's what you want to do. That seemed kind of rough. Try to negotiate with him. We have to travel now.
You have earned the respect of the formidable Captain Jarjax.
Travel while I cannot see anything. This reminds me of the Ale Association quests I was doing earlier. I wonder if I should try to put all this hype bolt gear. I can't really use it again. It is bound to account. I don't know if I'd ever have another Warden where it'd be that important to equip it, because it's really only useful at like maybe the level 95 cap. I'm not even sure on that, but the 85 cap. If I have room in my vault, which I do, I'll put it in the top chest there. Need to speak with Jajax though.
Why are you bothering me?
Need to watch a confrontation. Oh yeah, so I didn't quite go into that, but as Ivan said, two-handed weapon in general will be better for the red line for single target, and dual wield will generally be better for AoE. Right now I cannot see, but we are ready to go to Calimbel, so that will be the time to wrap this stream up. Went about an hour longer than I was thinking it would go. I wasn't really planning specifically to go like 2 hours, but that's just probably what I thought around what I'd go. My character is way off to the side, but allows me to get interesting screenshots. Now I recentered though. I almost wish you could have the camera this much off center, but without the drunk effect, vision effect, because it could make for interesting screenshots, just getting your character like right out of the middle of the screen. Oh yeah, and dual wielding, that is true for any class where you could do two-hander versus dual wield. Dual wield does let you get more stats. That's why, like Bay Warnings, they will dual wield for more stats. Actually, Bay Warnings, I don't even think the healing ones use imbued weapon, because that stuff just affects like damage, and you can get more stats by dual wielding two regular weapons, which is nice if you do want to avoid the LI grind that bad. How long does this debuff? Even though it's technically a buff, it looks like I will call it a debuff last. It looks like a couple more minutes. Can barely see what's going on, but I think this is a guy I need to talk to for a quest, and he actually has a decent quest reward, but that is might. Don't want the agility one. The agility one's really bad. Question is this an upgrade? I lose some spear gambit damage, but I don't care about that. Get some critical rating, lose some physical mastery, and lose a little bit of main stats, so I don't think it's quite worth it. And it has might rather than agility, which is slightly worse.
How may I help you, friend?
Okay, so I think I got all his quests. I can't honestly really see. And because I can't see, that is going to be the best point to wrap this up, I think. So, I am not sure on my schedule for the next few days. I'm not sure I will get to streaming tomorrow. So I just honestly don't know what this week. I hope to have some sort of regular video on Friday, but I'm not even sure I could do that. But I want to try to get the annual gameplays. It would be nice if I could start those next week. But I do plan to stream sometime in the middle of the week. Maybe we could start with WoW on Wednesday at least. If I don't do anything in LOTRO before that, that would be the next thing, I guess. But I am excited to continue in Gondor with this character. As far as today goes, we made a lot of progress. Did the intro with the Past of the Dead, did all the Blackroot Vale, did Morlad, and all the little side camps. And here we did the huge starter camp, and now we have Calimbel. So spent about an hour in the zone and 2 hours getting to the zone. But yeah, I think that is a good point to wrap this up. I hope you all have enjoyed watching the Gondor content as much as I have enjoyed playing it, because it has been fun so far, and it's kind of essentially my first time actually running through a lot of these quests, so it's nice to actually experience them and have a better, perhaps more properly formed opinion about it, about the actual content, which usually that's the way it is in LOTRO for me. The content is good, and it's like the circumstances around the content that bothers me, so if I can ignore that, I usually enjoy the content, unless it's West Rohan. But that's just a special case of me not liking it, for actually not liking it. But anyway, that is way off topic. So yeah, that will be it for this stream. I hope you all did enjoy it, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member like Ivan Stainer and 2 other people did yesterday. Actually 3 other people did yesterday, for 4 total members. And thank you everyone for all the chatting, which there was a lot today, and joining and watching.